Hey everybody, I don't know if you remember this amaryllis that I showed you starting at the beginning of Advent, like where it had, just barely any green poking through the moss, and then you saw it last week where it was growing, and now it's flourishing. And really, as reflecting on this and the beauty of this, and it's like, how did that come to be like that? It really needed very simple things. Like it needed to be grounded in soil. It needed to be planted. It needed water. It needed sunshine. It needed to be rotated every now and then. Very, very simple needs that lead to it flourishing. And I got to thinking that's a lot like us. There's a good lesson in this, and probably all of you that are gardeners or flower growers live this all the time. We're a lot like this. We have very simple needs too. We have physical needs, we have relational, emotional needs, and we have spiritual needs. That if we have those, we tend to flourish, and wonderful, beautiful things started coming out of our life. I've heard a lot from people in our parish, in our school, in our community, and in the world in general, and I've seen it a lot. That everybody's kind of feeling frustrated or kind of at the end of their rope, and there's almost like there's this permission that because I am so frustrated, it's okay for me to lash out at you and say mean or hurtful things without considering how that might affect you because I'm so frustrated. Don't give yourself that permission. That's sin. That is harming our neighbor with our words. That's a lack of charity. That doesn't help us to flourish and grow into something beautiful. That's a distortion of who we are, and we know that. So what are we supposed to do? And I know maybe some of you are out there like, oh, great, Father, you're referring exactly to me, and you're telling me just to stuff this. And no, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying we all have, basic needs that need to be met. St. Thomas Aquinas was famous for saying, grace builds on nature. So we have some physical needs. If you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not getting a healthy amount of food, if you're not getting exercise, and the healthy type of food and exercise to what you can, you're going to be off. Especially if there's a lot of stress in your life. If your work-life balance is out of whack, your physical needs are likely not being met. And that's going to affect how you act, and it's going to affect how you receive grace. You need that watering, that kind of continuous watering. We have emotional needs, relational needs. We're made in the image and likeness of God, which means we're made for communion. And maybe this is a time where you're not getting to be around other people who you love and care about, where maybe people that you love and care about are distancing themselves from you just because of COVID, not because of anything else, although Lord knows there's plenty of other things else in our lives. Well, you need that sunshine, and you need it to be rotated so that you can get it from different angles so that you don't grow off crooked. And that's not bad. You just need that. And so is that need getting met, your physical needs, your relational needs? And then we all have spiritual needs. That is, are we grounded in the soil that is God? And I know that in our parish, a lot of people have returned to Mass. A lot of people are praying at home. A lot of people are doing something that nourishes them spiritually, intentionally. But maybe some of us, that's kind of been neglected a little bit. Maybe fear has caused us to stay away, that we'll go to the grocery store, but we won't go to Mass. Okay, well, there's a need there. You have a need to be planted in God, rooted in God. And if we have these basic needs met, our physical, emotional, relational, and spiritual needs met, we tend to flourish. Something beautiful comes out. So not to stuff it, but to make your needs known to God. To spend time in prayer, just saying, God, I'm really struggling here. Everybody's getting on my nerves. Everybody keeps asking me to do one more thing. I don't know what to do with this. Take that. Don't stuff that, but let that out to your Lord who loves you and cares for you. If you're looking for a resource to stay rooted in God, number one, I would say Mass and prayer and the sacraments. If that's not a regular and abundant part of your life, look at maybe how it could be. Otherwise, if that's already a part, but you're looking for more, there's some resources that I'd really encourage you to kind of consider. There's a podcast by Father John Riccardo, the Acts 29 podcast. He's really good at announcing the gospel in a very helpful and energetic way. Father Mike Schmitz is doing that Bible in a year thing. You can listen to that. That's another one. Or just read the Bible in a year. Stay rooted in God's word and what he has to say to you. For women, there's one that's really good. Blessed is She website, or the Abide in Me podcast, speaking to the feminine heart and the beauty of that. For men, there's Exodus 90, which is very helpful. Or for anybody, the Restoring the Glory podcast by Dr. Bob Schutz and Dr. Jake Kim, Khym. They do this great psychological / spiritual healing kind of podcast, and it's really helpful to us. I know this video is long, and I'm sorry, but I hope it helps you flourish. God has good and wonderful things planned in you. He doesn't want to see you frustrated, stifled, scorched, or withered. He wants to see you flourish. So do I. I'm praying for you. Please pray for me and pray for one another. God bless you.